The War Within pre-patch brings with it a very unique opportunity that will allow you to level faster than you've ever been able to in the history of World of Warcraft. This opportunity allowing you to easily level up characters up to level 70 in under 2 hours. And with a little bit of optimization, you'll probably be able to level up characters in under an hour. Now, the first piece of information we need to go over is why it's so much faster to level up in the pre-patch. And it's very simple. There was just some massive reductions in the amount of experience you need to get to max level. And the main idea behind this is they want the time it took for you to get to max level in Dragonflight to be a very similar time that it will take you to get to max level in the War Within. And with there being 10 additional levels in the War Within, they need to reduce the amount of experience you need to get all the way up to level 70. And the TLDR of these changes is that from level 20 to 50, it's going to be around a 20% reduction in experience required. Going from level 50 to 60, it's going to be a 20 to 40% reduction in experience required. And the biggest reduction comes in at level 60 to 70, which is a 75 to 80% reduction in the amount of experience required. So just leveling in the exact same ways, you're going to have a massively reduced time to get to max level. But mixing this in with some of the leveling methods we currently have available to us can give us some ridiculously fast leveling times. But that brings us to the actual leveling method, and this is going to be in WoW Remix. Now, WoW Remix is going to be active for around another month. It goes pretty much all the way up until the new expansion launch. And WoW Remix by itself has just been one of the fastest leveling methods in the game's history, but now it's just going to be much faster because there's a lot less experience required. Now, I'm sure the majority of people playing WoW have either tried out WoW Remix or at least heard about how it actually works. So I'm just going to go over the basics, and the leveling method in this video is going to be basically the most simple form. Now, if you haven't played WoW Remix, the first thing you want to do is go get the Infinite Power achievements. So basically how this works is doing anything in WoW Remix will give you threads. These are stat increases. As you keep hitting new thresholds in obtaining these threads, you'll start getting achievements, and these achievements will level up the cloak all of your new characters get all the way up to the highest infinite power level, which requires you get to 4,200 threads. And the main thing you care about with that is that every new character will start with 100% increased experience. And you're in luck if you haven't played any WoW Remix yet, because they massively increase how much threads you get. So you'll be able to get to this point ridiculously quickly. Now, if you want the most simple leveling method, all you're going to do past this point is spam run heroic dungeons in Remix. Now, this is not going to be the most optimal. This probably won't allow you to get to level 70 in under 2 hours, but it's absolutely the most simple. It's probably going to be slightly more enjoyable, and all you're just going to be doing is spam running these dungeons. But that's not the main method I actually want to go over in this video, because there's methods that are still really easy that can massively reduce the time it takes to get to level 70. Now, the much more optimal method is going to take you a little bit of setup, but once you get to a point, you'll be able to level up a bunch of different characters extremely quickly. And you're basically just going to be boosting all of the characters you actually want to level up, and it's incredibly simple to do. Now, the basis of this method is that in WoW Remix, the scaling is kind of wonky, so when you're low level, you're incredibly strong at a base, and then if you add on all of the additional stats you get from your cloak, your low level characters get even crazier. But then if you tie all of that into a starter account, it can get even more crazy, because you can play WoW Remix on a starter account, but you're still capped at level 20. And since you're capped at level 20, you can just keep building up more and more stats from WoW Remix as a character that's already super strong because you're low level, and you can use that character to boost up all of your other characters. And the best part about this is that since it's on a starter account, you don't need another account with a subscription. You still only need your one main account to boost a bunch of characters up to max level. So the first thing you're going to need to do for this is you're going to go to battle.net, you're going to go to your account, you're going to go to account settings, then you're going to go to games and subscriptions, and you're going to scroll down a bit, and there's going to be a section that's going to allow you to create a starter account. And that's what you're just going to do. You're going to create a starter account in your region, and that's all you're going to need to do. If you didn't have a starter account before, it'll probably be labeled as starter account 1, so like US 1 or EU 1. And then you're going to go to your Battle.net launcher, you're going to go to the WoW tab, and right above the play button, there's going to be a drop-down menu. And once you click that, that'll have all of the different accounts tied to your account. So you'll have the main account that you have your subscription on, then you'll have your new starter account. You're going to select that new starter account, you're going to log in, then you're going to create a character on WoW Remix. Now, I would recommend you either do a tank or a healer. I'm leaning much more into tank because those are going to give you much faster queues because you are still going to be running heroic dungeons. And with the scaling in WoW Remix, tanks and healers at those lower levels just seem to be much stronger in general. So after you've created your healer or your tank, all you're going to do is get yourself to level 20. Whether that be doing some quests, doing some dungeons, or just going and killing a bunch of enemies, you're going to get to level 20 incredibly quickly because, as we went over, you want to get the infinite power achievement we went over, so you'll have a bunch of stats on your cloak just starting out. And then once you get to level 20, you will basically be at the point to boost any other characters you want. Now, your character is not going to be super strong, so you can't go through dungeons as quick as you'll see me doing in the footage, but your character will be at level 20 with a bunch of additional stats, so you'll still be able to solo pretty much any heroic dungeon. Now, if you're going to want to be doing this for a bunch of additional characters, what I would recommend doing is also going and doing the dailies you have access to. And that will include the daily quest to complete a scenario and a dungeon, and then that will also include completing a normal and heroic dungeon and a normal and heroic scenario. You can do all of those daily, and those will give you a ton of additional threads, which will just massively increase the power of your character very quickly. So you now have a level 20 tank or healer on your trial account that's going to be incredibly strong. That's the character you're going to be using to spam run heroic dungeons to boost up the other characters on your main account. So now, while staying logged into that level 20 character on the trial account, you're then going to open up your Battle.net launcher, and you're again going to go to that drop-down menu above the play button. Then you're going to go to your main account that has a subscription where you want to boost up a bunch of other characters up to level 70. You're going to log into that, and then you're just going to log on whatever character you want to boost. So either a pre-existing character in WoW Remix or just create a new WoW Remix character. Once you're logged in on that character, you're going to group those two characters up. So just have one whisper the other, invite, and then group up. And then once you're grouped up, you're going to queue up for heroic dungeons. And since you chose a character that's a healer or a tank, you're going to get queues very quickly or instantly. And at this point, all you're going to be doing is using your level 20 character on your trial account to spam run heroic dungeons very quickly while the character that's being boosted just sits at the front of the dungeon. Now, the reason this works is because any account with a subscription will have all of the boss drops mailed to them. And the way you get a lot of XP from this is every boss that's killed will drop an item that gives that character a massive chunk of experience that always scales based off of their level. So basically, all you're going to be doing is your character that's being boosted is going to sit at the start of the dungeon. The level 20 on the trial count, going to spam run through all these heroic dungeons. You're going to just rinse and repeat that. And then once you've done that a bunch, the character that's being boosted is going to go to their mailbox, open up all their mail, and you'll just get ridiculous amounts of experience. And that's legitimately going to be the entirety of this WoW Remix leveling method. This is by no means the fastest way to level up in Remix, but doing this method will allow you to level up characters up to level 70 in under 2 hours without being optimal at all. And I went and tested this on the Prepatch, and I got a character from level 10 up to level 70 in an hour and 46 minutes using this method. And that was by no means optimal. Just optimizing this exact method a little bit more, I could easily get this to below an hour and 30 minutes, and it wouldn't even be that difficult. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.